what the people think, what the people think. A man with a hat like that, I knew you was some kind of person. He walking with his beautiful wife out here and walking down the streets of Hollywood. And Mr. James from Inglewood. Would you care to comment? She says roll tide. She doesn't understand this is SC country, the poor girl. Percy Clifford Payne here from What Do the People Think? America. Who's she gonna vote for? 2016, right here on What Do the People Think? How do they do that in Bulgaria? How do you recommend they do that here?
Well, I believe they do it after having a professional and extremely good training.
Illuminating people. What the people think. What the people think. What the people think. What the people think. Percy Clifford Payne for What Do the People Think? A safe way out, both for our police and our community that we love, right here on What the People Think. Stay tuned. Percy Clifford Payne for What the People Think, and I'm speaking with
Axinia.
Axinia?
Yes.
Axinia, where are you from?
I'm from Bulgaria.
Bulgaria, folks. Do you guys have police in Bulgaria? You must have police.
Of course.
Now, what happens when you're in Bulgaria and somebody comes out there, they're having some kind of episode, some person, and we're not sure if they have weapons, but we're almost certain they don't. But what do your police do? What do they do, and what do you suggest? Go ahead.
Well, they try to calm down the person. If not possible, they have to restrain the person before they shoot at the person. Shooting is the last option.
Okay, now that's what we're trying to prevent here in this country. We're trying to prevent the shooting if there's no weapons.
Yes.
So when you say calm down, what are some measures, what are some tactics that they use in Bulgaria to calm down these people? What do they do there? What do you suggest?
First, they talk to the person that he has to stop and he has to go with them to the police station. If he continues, then they will have to restrain him.
Okay, now when you say restrain, that's the key element here. Restrain, we got to restrain this person, protect him from himself, if nothing else. How do they do that in Bulgaria? How do you recommend they do that here? Go ahead, look in there.
Well, I believe they do it after having a professional and extremely good training.
Okay, so professional. So do they sometimes call a professional out there on this situation? Is that what you're saying? Or do they just have the professional training? Go ahead.
They have the professional training.
So in your police department in Bulgaria, they train them to kind of talk to the people in a certain way?
Yes. So the aim is nobody to get hurt at the end. So
that is so wonderful. Now, do you guys have a big problem in the Bulgaria community with the people in the police right now?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Do you guys have a problem as far as this issue? When they come out and the person has no weapons and there's a big problem, somebody gets harmed. Do you have a problem with that in your country?
Sometimes, but very rare.
Okay, so your main thing is training and professional training.
Exactly. We try to avoid using weapons.
Okay, I thank you so much for commenting, Miss Axinia, right?
Yes.
All right, God bless you and your friend. Where did your friend go? Okay.
They
left you. How could they leave you? You were here to...
I'll run to catch them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for What the People Think. Hey, Jesus loves you. Enjoy Hollywood. Percy Clifford Payne for What Do the People Think, a lovely lady from Bulgaria. And she was saying that in their city, in their country, they do try at all means to calm that person down, and with their professional training that they implement there. And she says that their police are professionally trained to deal with those kind of circumstances, and that's rare that they have an incident. Percy Clifford Payne for What Do the People Think, a safe way out. We're speaking with
James.
James, you and your lovely wife here. She walking down Hollywood Boulevard, just minding your own business. Your own business. Man with a hat like this, folks with a hat like this, we just got to talk to this man.
All right.
Okay, anyway, we're talking about a safe way out. What do we do when the police come out to our community and there's somebody called, there's an emergency, there's a semi-emergency, maybe out and out emergency, but the gentleman doesn't have arms as far as we know. What can we do so that we all leave safely? If they have to apprehend the guy, whatever, but we want it done in a safe manner. What say you, James?
Okay. I feel in my heart that, number one, respect goes a long way toward police officers, and it goes a long way toward individuals or civilians. I know that there's a lack in that because of the attitude that's portrayed. We don't look to be confrontational with anyone, but sometimes because of our skin tone, it seems to bring up some kind of negativity that, for whatever reason, really gets things out of proportion. And there's a lot of things that I feel that we can address to hopefully eliminate some of those type things.
Well, when you say there's certain things that come up because of our skin tone, so in other words, if they're white and the kids come out, then the police comes out, the white kid, he's not going to have that same kind of impression. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Let me give you a case in point. I'm a owner of some rental property. One of my tenants was having a problem with his spouse. He called me, and I went over there to see if I can be of help to them. I didn't know that police were called. As I parked and I got out and walked toward my rental property, I was accosted by the police because maybe they thought that I was a fella. And they asked for my license. I pulled my license out. They were very negative. They were very bitter toward me for no reason whatsoever. I'm just going over my tenant's house, and there were some things that were said by them that could have agitated me if I did not have a cooler head. Those kind of things shouldn't be.
Okay, so basically you're saying you were just going to the situation to try to calm your tenant down. And you got out of your car, and did they think you were the guy they were coming to talk to, the couple, or you just saying they just talked to you that way because they talked to you that way? I'm just trying to figure that out.
I cannot get into their head. I can only assume that it's a possibility. They may have thought I may have been the tenant, but if you don't know, why are you going to react in such a negative manner and hostile manner toward me? It almost got to the point where they were ready to arrest me for no reason whatsoever. So, you have to sit back and stand back and think about consequences that if something was said or done in the smallest fashion, the worst results could happen.
So basically you're saying, why don't we have cooler heads on our side? You're trying to be a cooler head in this situation, quote unquote, but it goes two ways. At least a little bit more respect. And you thought that would have been a lot better situation. So what happened in that situation after you moved on? You showed them your driver's license, I presume. Yes. What happened to that? How did it calm down? Tell us what happened in that situation.
I asked the officer, why are you treating me the way you are? You don't know me. Why are you handling me like a criminal? I was told to shut up and show me and show me the license. I showed him my license. After I showed him my license, he asked me who was I. I told him that I'm the owner of this establishment, and
they should have took care of your identification, right?
Exactly.
What happened at that point?
What happened is the fact that I asked him if I can have my license back. He told me no, and I says why? He says, well, I'll throw it away. I say, well, sir, if that's what you want to do, you throw it away. I says, I have business to take care of here. I says, if it's okay with you, I'm going to take care of my business because I don't want this thing to escalate anymore.
Now, can you imagine you are a mature person, you are owner of real estate, and you're just trying to be respectful as much as possible, of course, to the law enforcement agency. But can you imagine a younger guy, a kid that doesn't have that kind of, let's say, wisdom, let's say cooler head type mentality, because we all really younger one, 20, 22, 23, we all at that time experienced some kind of situation where we weren't responding properly to the people that we should have. But can you imagine what could have happened?
Yes, the most tragic of things could have happened. Unfortunately, young men of color, they're not raised by, I would say, fathers. And in a lot of ways, because they're not raised by a man, sometimes young men of color, they react differently because they haven't been taught really how to deal with a situation such as that. I believe that's why we have a lot of tragedy today. It's not really the young people's fault. It's just the fact that our skin tone really brings out a negativity from people that don't understand us or don't like us for whatever reason. Okay,
so that's one thing we need to touch on, because our skin tone should not give that projection of that negativity just because of our skin tone, and that's best at the crux of the issue, I think, because we feel like when the situation happens, yeah, the guy shouldn't be out there. He's out in an episode, but he may have some issues. But if he doesn't have arm, now I'm talking about we don't want the police harmed. We need them in our community. We're not bashing the police. We need them there. Most people want them there. We're just saying it's a two-way street that we do need to work together in this matter. And I like what you said. If that happened to you, if you can you tell us what city that was in, or do you feel comfortable saying that?
It was in the city of Inglewood.
Oh, right here in L.A., beautiful L.A.
In LA.
My goodness. You know, the way you were saying it, I thought it would be somewhere in a different part of our country, but that's happening everywhere.
Everywhere.
Something seriously needs to happen to prevent this.
Yes, indeed.
That can happen in the metropolitan area like beautiful Los Angeles, Inglewood, where the guys got the Rams coming next year, I understand.
Yes.
Real estate value should go up, folks out there in Inglewood. But if that can happen out there in Inglewood, and they have their own police department, correct?
Yes, they do.
So is that something that you contacted the police department and told them about the incident so this situation couldn't happen again? Or what happened at that point?
Percy, let me say this. It's just my own personal feelings, but I actually feel that I see a sense of superiority from the police force or people when they approach a person such as myself. If we don't bow to that superiority, then we endanger ourselves. And that shouldn't be.
So how can we tell our young people of color what we need to do? How can we mentor them? Maybe we need some mentorship programs that we've publicized in the community, and that's a great idea. Have a mentorship program so we can tell the unfathered people of color, this is how you react, so don't go out there. Let's calm the situation down, because there's images out here, evidently and obviously. So what can we do about it? Is that a good idea, you think?
I think it's an excellent idea. I will say this. I have a tenant in one of my establishments. That tenant has a son that is a deputy sheriff. Okay. In that position that he's in, he knows me, I know him. We have a very cordial relationship, and there is not a problem. It's not confrontational. We might even have a difference of opinion. But guess what? He respects me, I respect him, and life goes on. It's the people that don't know me or I don't know them where a problem can exist and do exist.
Okay, James, I want to appreciate you, sir, for taking your time out and what the people think. A man with a hat like that, I knew you was some kind of person. He walking with his beautiful wife out here, and he walking down the streets of Hollywood. And Mr. James from Inglewood is laying it on the line, doing it for you. What the people think right here, a safe way out. Percy Clifford Payne for what the people think. God bless you, James.
God bless you,
Mr.
sir.
James.
Yes,
Jesus
sir.
loves you, sir.
Hey, I love that.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's Percy Clifford Payne for what the people think. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, God bless you and God bless America.
What the people think, what the people think.
A man with a hat like that, I knew you was some kind of person. He walking with his beautiful wife out here, and he walking down the streets of Hollywood. And Mr. James from Inglewood. Would you care to comment? She says roll time. She doesn't understand this is SC country, the poor girl. Percy Clifford Payne here for What Do the People Think? America. Who's she gonna vote for? 2016, right here on What Do the People Think? How do they do that in Bulgaria? How do you recommend they do that here?
Well, I believe they do it after having a professional and extremely good training.